Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this one-of-a-kind investment opportunity. During this presentation, we will discuss the background of Byte and Bread and look at its challenges and opportunities. We'll investigate how blockchain has solved IBM and Walmart's supply chain issues and how we can apply this to Byte. Last but not least, we will share our proof of concept and go-to-market strategies before convincing you that this is an opportunity you cannot afford to miss. Byte is a compact, rapid relief emergency food supply specifically developed for emergency aid. There are many issues surrounding the international aid industry, and in many cases the donations made to help people end up just doing the opposite. Byte was tokenized on the XDAI blockchain so that everyone could see exactly where every donation is going. Byte and Bread as a combination overcome many aid-related challenges and could turn this industry on its head. That is why we want to ensure there are no weak links in the Byte food supply chain. Most of Byte's challenges are supply chain related. Byte's production and processing depends on specialized ingredients and packaging, and guaranteeing authenticity will save lives. Distribution is Byte's biggest risk. Many stakeholders, including potentially corrupt ones, are involved, and the existing out-of-date legacy systems and processes do not provide adequate transparency or traceability. Consumption is another concern. In order to manage and audit stock and the minting and burning of tokens, access to real-time, trusted information is a must. So let's have a look at our industry analysis. Byte has an unlimited shelf life, and its size makes it easy for fast and wide distribution. But unfortunately, it requires very specific, authentic ingredients and packaging. It also requires long-term storage in high-risk environments. However, it is possible for anyone to donate any amount to any person anywhere in the world in seconds, and be 100% sure that 100% of the donation reaches the intended destination. This alone will ensure that Byte gets a big slice of the $150 billion a year aid industry cake. We know this is possible, despite the corrupt players involved and the challenge profit-driven aid organizations are posing. Can blockchain solve Byte's problems? Many of Byte's problems are shared across the industry. So we looked at how IBM and Walmart implemented blockchain successfully as part of their solution. The case study shows that the use of blockchain simplifies transaction verification and increased transaction speed, ensures transaction visibility and traceability, which helps prevent fraud and increase food security. It also reduces costs by cutting out unnecessary third parties. Blockchain formed a great solution for IBM and Walmart. Even so, we still had to make sure Byte makes for a good blockchain use case. We compared Byte with key blockchain requirements and concluded that it presents a great blockchain use case. Once we proved we had a good use case, we needed to confirm that blockchain was the correct solution for Byte. As part of this process, we applied the hype test. The hype test is a simple decision flowchart that guides you step by step through a range of questions. By answering yes or no to each question, you follow the logic to its conclusion. As you can see, we've marked our answers on the displayed flowchart. Going through the 9 triggered questions, we ended up with a conclusion that we could start building our business case on blockchain. What are the core value propositions? Among other things, blockchain gives us transparency, traceability, disintermediation, and immutability. It will prevent fraud and corruption, which means more food for more people. It will also reduce transaction costs and other costs substantially, so that leaves more money for more people in need. It also ensures effective production and stock management, all key business success factors. And last but not least, everyone can see every single donated byte and where it's gone. All of this ensures brand trust and supports Byte's vision of being the world's aid solution of choice. What will the impact of the solution be? The majority of current aid is either channeled through aid organizations or provided by governments. In both cases, there is very little transparency of what is happening with the funds once it's received. With aid organizations, we find that most of the money is consumed by the vast number of participants in the money machine. After all, saving the poor is very big business. Many developing countries are no different. Corrupt politicians and individuals use most of the money for personal gain, leaving the people to starve. But with Byte, things can be different. The Byte solution provides total transparency and traceability. Records are immutable, and all unnecessary third parties are avoided. The result? 100% of donations are received by those who actually need it most. So, we can change the world, one byte at a time. But there will be some hurdles along the way. Will people use Byte? Blockchain is an unknown technology, but we know if we present people with a familiar-looking mobile solution, adoption will be easy. Many participants are competitors and will be concerned about privacy and sharing information. Creating the right channels and access levels through a permissioned public blockchain like Hyperledger will address this. Regulatory compliance is a must, and this is why Byte has already been FDA approved, but it also meets all American and Australasian tax and legal requirements. We will build the solution from scratch. Byte has no existing technology infrastructure apart from Bread, so we can tailor-make every element as needed. By developing in an agile manner, we can ensure success one step at a time and build a solid reputation along the way. This will also spread development costs over time. As a proof of concept, we plan a controlled deployment. We will have a short Australian fundraising drive with Fiji in conjunction with the Salvation Army. The bytes produced as a result will be shipped and stored in 2 food banks in Fiji. The Fijian Salvation Army will distribute bread tokens to the general population, who in turn can redeem them for bytes from the local food banks. This way we can engage the total minimum viable ecosystem, starting with bread donations and the productions of bytes, followed by transport and on-the-ground distribution of tokens. It will also evaluate people's understanding of the wallets and the concept in general. This will also test the redemption and auditing processes. We will run the proof of concept exactly for 2 months and evaluate it against set performance criteria. So how do we take this to market? We set up 10 collection booths at selected high-traffic shopping areas, each armed with posters and byte samples. Sets of QR codes will enable the public to download wallets, purchase bread tokens, and donate the tokens to the Salvation Army's crypto accounts. We will boost donations through a Give One, Get One marketing campaign that will include t-shirts, caps and posters, as well as community radio sponsorships. We will also engage the Fijian salvos to educate and inform people on what is coming and how to go about it. We will know that we have been successful if we receive over 10,000 bread token donations, and if the number of bytes in the 2 Fijian food banks match this number. We also need the Salvation Army to distribute at least 80% of those tokens to no less than 1,000 people, which in turn need to redeem at least 50% for bytes from the local food banks. And last but not least, at the end of 2 months, the balances of bytes remaining in the food banks should match the total number of donations minus the bread redemption account balances. So what are the next steps? We need you to say yes to changing the world so we can set up the minimum viable technology environment. We also need to plan and fund the Fijian proof of concept. In total, this will cost us an estimate of $250,000. Money we need from you. And this is where your opportunity comes in. Bread has a fixed value of $1 Australian, and for tonight only, you can purchase 2 for the price of 1. Not only can you write your purchase off against tax as a donation, you will also achieve an immediate 100% return on investment. But please note, these terms only apply to the first $250,000 worth of sales we receive. Any questions? Thank you.